Have you ever noticed how easy it is to go along with the crowd? We often change our opinions or behavior, even if we initially disagree, simply because everyone else is doing it. This phenomenon is called conformity, and it plays a huge role in our lives. In this video, we'll explore what conformity is, how it manifests, and why we conform. Conformity is changing your behavior or beliefs under the influence of a group. It can be either conscious or unconscious. We might follow the crowd because we're afraid of being rejected, or because we think the group knows more than we do. Either way, conformity has a powerful impact on our behavior. Imagine this: you're with your friends and they're all laughing at a joke you don't get. Chances are you'll laugh too, even if you don't think the joke is funny. This is an example of conformity in action. We want to be accepted by the group, so we adjust our behavior to meet its expectations. Conformity can show up in many different situations, from choosing clothes to political beliefs. We might follow fashion trends even if we don't like them, or vote for a candidate the majority supports even if we don't share their views. Conformity is an essential part of our social lives. A classic example of conformity research is Solomon Asch's experiment, conducted in the 1950s. In this experiment, participants were shown lines of different lengths and asked to identify which one matched a reference line. The task was made very simple so that participants wouldn't make mistakes. However, the experiment included actors who gave intentionally wrong answers. The real participant, under pressure from the group, often agreed with the wrong answer, even if they clearly saw it was incorrect. The results showed that about 75% of participants conformed to the group at least once. Asch's experiment clearly demonstrates the power of social pressure. Even in a simple situation where the answer is obvious, we might change our minds under group influence. This is because we're afraid of being rejected or looking foolish in the eyes of others. The results of Asch's experiment have important implications for understanding how conformity affects our decision-making processes. The study highlights the powerful influence of social pressure and the tendency to conform even when it contradicts our own perceptions. There are several reasons why we conform. One reason is the fear of being rejected by the group. We are social beings, and it's important for us to be accepted by others. We're afraid of being excluded from the group, so we try to meet its norms and expectations. Another reason is informational influence. We often rely on the group's opinion when we're unsure of our own. We think the group knows more than we do, so we follow its lead. This is especially true in situations where we don't have enough information or experience. Conformity can also be related to the desire to avoid conflict. We don't want to argue with the group, even if we disagree with its opinion. We prefer to keep the peace and agree with the majority rather than defend our own point of view. In addition, conformity can be influenced by cultural factors. In some cultures, conformity is considered a positive quality, while individualism is negative. In such cultures, people learn from childhood to obey the norms and rules of the group. It's important to understand that conformity isn't always bad. In some cases, it can be helpful, for example, when it helps us adapt to a new environment or avoid danger. However, it's important to be able to distinguish helpful conformity from blindly following the crowd. To resist the negative influence of conformity, it's necessary to develop critical thinking skills. We must learn to analyze information, ask questions, and not take everything at face value. It's important to be able to form our own opinions based on facts and logic. It's also important to develop our independence and self-confidence. We should believe in our abilities and not be afraid to express our opinions, even if they differ from the majority. It's important to remember that everyone has the right to their own point of view. In conclusion, conformity is a complex social phenomenon that has a significant impact on our behavior. It's important to understand how it works and to be able to resist its negative effects. Developing critical thinking and independence is key to not becoming a victim of blindly following the crowd.